Let's check our work now to the on your own problems that you completed on page 5. Problem 1 is an addition problem. You'll see I started by lining up the digits. Please make sure that your 5 and 2 line up. Over on the left, it's just fine that your 1 for your 1,000ths place is sticking out farther. That's the way it should be. When you add them together and do the appropriate carrying, you should come up with the answer 2,427. Problem 2. Once again, I lined up the digits on the right just to make sure that the place values matched. And in this case, I did have to do some borrowing or regrouping in order to subtract. When I completed the subtraction, I did get 113 as the final answer. And problem 3 was a multiplication problem. And what I did is, first thing I want to point out is I flipped around the 118 times 42. When you're multiplying, it doesn't matter which one is first and which number is second. An example of this would be 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is also 6. So what I tend to do to make it easier is put the number that has the most digits on top and the number with fewer digits on the bottom. This gives you fewer steps and then you're less likely to make a mistake. So when I completed the multiplication process, I did come up with the answer 4,956. Okay, let's take a look at example 4 on page 5 of your math textbook. This is going to be dividing whole numbers, no remainder. What we have here is an example where you are making 24 equal payments for a go-kart. The total cost of the go-kart is $840. They want to know how much is each payment. So, in order to solve this problem, we are going to start with the number 840, and that is the number we're starting with. It's called the dividend, so it's going inside the bracket. The number you start with goes on the inside. On the outside of the bracket, I have the number 24. 24 is the divisor. It's what I'm dividing by. So I've got 840, the number I start with in the middle, 24 on the outside, and now I'm ready to start the division process. Now if you take a look here, 24 cannot go into the number 8. So they are leaving the space above the 8 for the 800 blank. They have to go over to 84. 24 can go into 84. Now we need to think about how many times 24 can go into 84. In this case, it is 3 times. 3 times 24 is 72. I subtract, I have 12 left over. The next step, bring down the 0. Now I'm going to take 24 into 120. 24 can go into 125 times, so I've put the 5 at the top. 5 times 24 is 120. I subtract and I have 0. Now just a reminder, when you're finding these numbers up here for your answer, you're looking for the how many times it can go into the value without going over. If you go over even by just 1, that number will not work. You have to decrease it. So when we're done with all of our steps, 840 divided by 24 can go in 35 times, excuse me. So what that means is the quotient, or the answer, is $35. Now when you're done with a division problem, a good idea is to check it and see if your answer is correct. We do that by performing the opposite operation. The opposite of division is multiplication. So if I go over here and I take my answer, which was 35, or the quotient, multiply it by the divisor, that's what I originally divided by over here, 35 times 24 gives me 840. That was what I started with, or that is the dividend, so I know I've completed this problem correctly. Okay, I'd like for you to take a couple of minutes, go to your notes, and work out a few practice problems. Now, as you can see, I am only having you do problems 4 and 6. You can skip 5 and 7. Please work out problems 4 and 6 in your notes at this time.